What should one do before they appear for their prelims examination? Before you appear for a prelims, there should be at least 3 revisions that should have been completed. So 60 days is not just about revising. In the 60 days, you also have to appear for 20 tests. And this is how you should manage around 130 days before your prelims examination. Hello everyone, welcome to PW Only IAS English Medium channel. I am Dimple Nankani. The topic of discussion today is that now the notification has come, the number of vacancies has been announced. The topic, there's a lot of hue and cry about what to do before my prelims 2025. I have to appear for prelims, so what to do? So discussion is what to do before appearing in the prelims examination. A lot of you are confused. I am here to solve your queries, your problems. I am Dimple Nankani. Here you can get a lot of videos with respect to your preparation which can help you, guide you. You can scan this QR code. This is a code to my Telegram channel. I am helping students actively there, and you can get a lot of access to the videos by scanning this QR code. Now, with nearly 130 days left before your prelims examination, the tension that a lot of students have is what should one do before they appear for their prelims examination, before they appear before the D-Day. On the D-Day, what should be done? Now, 2-3 essentials that lot of us stress upon is you need to revise. You need to revise not once, but at least 2 and 3 times. Before you appear for a prelims, there should be at least 3 revisions that should have been completed so that you are able to recognize the question. The knowledge that I have from the prelims examinations, I have appeared for nearly 6 prelims examination. I have qualified for prelims examination back to back, prelims mains. So a lot of time crunch, even we used to feel then. But one thing that I realized that helped me qualify my prelims was continuous revision, 3 times revision, at least 3 revisions before I appeared in the examination. Revision is one part. There is one thing that is revision. Apart from revision, you also, even the revision is boring, but still we have to do it. You also have to do the mock test. So one thing is revision. The second thing is mock test. And when I say revision, it is about both the static portion plus current affairs. Both. You have to revise both. The static portion as well as the current affairs 3 times. Yes, 3 times. How do we do that? We'll see how do we do that. So one is this, the revision part. The second one is mock test. You have to appear for at least 35 to 40 mock tests, at least. 35 to 40 is good to go. Along with this, you also need to do previous year questions. So there are 4 things. One is static portion, current affairs, you have to give the mock test, and you have to do the previous year questions. Now these are the 4 things that we need to take into consideration. While we give the mock test, we also need to give a lot of importance to the analysis of the test. Whatever mock test you are giving, you have to give a lot of importance to analysis, and you have to note down what are the important learnings that you've made from the test. Okay? We need to do revise. We need to revise current affairs, static portion, previous year question, mock test, and the analysis from the mock test. How do we do the analysis? How do we revise this many times? We'll see this here. Now, a very important thing that you need to do is these 130 days. You have to segregate them, you have to divide them into 3 phases. I call them as phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3 of your preparation. So there will be 3 phases in your preparation. Phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Okay, we are going backward calculation. We are saying nearly 30 days. We are dividing them into phase 1, which is 60 days. Then we have to do it in phase 2, which is 40 days. And then there is phase 3, which is 30 days. So you are breaking down these 130 days into various phases. I call these as phases of preparation. There will be first revision in phase 1. There will be second revision in phase 2. There will be third revision in the phase 3. So phase 1. Phase 1, which is 60-day period, you have to revise all the subjects. Geography, history, polity, economy, science, tech in these 60 days along with current affairs. So 60 days you have. You have 60 days for completing the first revision. Now, when you know that you have 60 days, you will have to make micro targets. Okay, I will revise my geography in, let's say, 4 days. I will revise my history in, let's say, 10 days, because history is very vast, ancient, medieval, art and culture, modern, let's say 12 days. You will also, that depends on how far you're comfortable with the subjects, micro targets. The micro targets, I leave it to you. That geography 5 days, history 12 days, science and tech another 5 days, economy, let's say 7 days. In this 60 days, you will have to give micro targets to yourself depending on the comfort level that you have in the subject. Please remember, this also includes the current affairs till date. Last 1 year's current affairs, that is from June till date, let's say December, this is 6 months, that also has to be revised in these phases, phase 1. Whatever current affairs that you have, let's say January, February also, you will have to revise in this one-time revision. Then along with this revision, one was revision, the other was test. Two important pillars, revision and test. In this 60 days, okay, try to cover your thematic paper. Like if you have, let's say, given 3 days for geography, or let's say 5 days for geography. In this 5 days, you will have to also give some test. Okay, give the test in, let's say, 6th day or let's say 7th day. Appear all the geography papers that you can appear. That means here in this phase 1, you have to give 20 thematic papers. So 20 thematic papers would mean roughly 2 or 3 papers each subject. And this has to be completed in this 60 days only. Okay, so 60 days is not just about revising. In the 60 days, you also have to appear for 20 tests. Okay, so revision is one part, and then you have to appear the thematic test. Revision is one part, you have to appear for the thematic test. At least 3 subjects, 3 days or 3 topics in 3 papers each subject you have to do. Okay, so that you can complete around 20 papers. Now, so what I have to do for 60 days, I'm revising once, I'm revising my current affairs. This is what I'm doing, and I'm also appearing in the test. Now, 20 test. How do I appear in the test? When you appear in the test, don't simply solve MCQs. Okay, this is a good MCQ, I can solve this. No, I cannot solve this. No. Be very, very serious while you are appearing in the test. You have to behave like you are in the exam conditions. Take a slot of, let's say, 10 to 12 in the morning, every alternate day or every third day. Sit down for 2 hours. Also take an OMR sheet. While you are taking a test paper, sit down, 2 hours, take an OMR sheet, also mark in the OMR sheet. So the test that you have to appear, you have to simulate the exam conditions. Why do I say that? That you will have to, behave like you are sitting in an examination, because my first prelims, I did 3 silly mistakes. And not just me, this is a case of nearly every student, that they make silly mistakes in the examination. If you make 3 silly mistakes, right, it is -8 marks. You knew that. You just made a silly mistake of filling a wrong MCQ bubble. If you do that, -8 marks can cost you 1 year, which you should not do. It is quite obvious that if in case you don't practice in examination like conditions at your home, you are bound to make silly mistakes. So for us to avoid that, we will have to behave like we are behaving in an examination conditions. So here, while you are appearing, you have to appear for what? 20 tests in your phase 1. You'll have to sit for 2 hours. You'll have to make examination condition, take an OMR sheet, encircle everything, and make it like you are appearing for the examination. It will make a habit for you to sit down for 2 hours at a continuous go. Now, this is while you are giving the test. Okay, while you are solving the test, this is the one. Now, what I used to do is, for example, on first page, there are about 10 MCQ. Now, while I'm solving this MCQ, while I'm doing, you have your pen in your hand. What I used to do is, I used to encircle. Okay, this is a difficult question. This is a difficult question. This is a difficult question. I used to solve all the 100 questions. while it's a mock test, I can solve all the 100 questions. Do I know all 100 questions? No. Should I solve all 100 questions while I'm appearing in a mock test? Yes. How do I solve when I don't know? Make a logical guess. Sometime it can be fluke. Sometime you can have a studied guess. Okay. Sometime you might remember things after reading it twice or thrice. So solve all the 100 questions, and while in the questions in which you are not confident, you can encircle that and you can write, okay, this is a fluke, F for fluke. Okay, this is a studied guess. This is a confident one. Okay, so encircle the questions in which you are facing difficulty and write whether it's a fluke, whether it's a studied guess, just write the code there. Why am I advising you to solve all the 100 MCQs? Is that because you will make mistakes in your mock test if you do all the 100 questions. And trust me, you will remember more when you do mistakes. If you don't solve all 100 questions, you will forget the questions. But if you solve all the 100 questions and you make a mistake, you will remember it. This is psychology. Okay, we don't forget when we are wrong. So give energy to the question even if you don't know. And there's nothing that you are going to lose. Probably your marks will be less, but it is a mock test. It is for you to improve upon. So for my advice, you should solve all the 100 questions and you should write, it was fluke, it was a studied guess, it was confident. Now once you've done this, okay, what happens is that if a fluke goes right, you will definitely remember. It's a memory. See, I did a fluke, but I remember it. If a confident goes wrong, you will also definitely remember that. I was so confident, but still it went wrong. You will remember that thing. And suppose it's a studied guess. If it went wrong, you will refine your logic. If it goes correct, you know that you're on the right track. So solve all the MCQs and write this so that you remember. It is all about remembering, right? For the examination. You can have alternate methods of study. This is one method of study. So you'll have to do this. After you've done the test, 2 hours, you sat down for the test, take a break, go for a tea break or a coffee break for 15-20 minutes. Come down, come to your library, come to your study table, and then you start checking your paper. First, you will see how many marks you got. Are marks important? No, they are not. What is important is the learning from the test. Whatever learning that you have, you went wrong, you will have to write that. I will have to jot down in my register that history of India, I made this mistake. This is what is the right answer. If there is a new fact while you are reading the solutions, you will have to write the new fact in your registers. Third, you will have to write down what is your analysis of the test. Okay, make the jottings for your revision. It is very important. You are taking a register. After the 2 hours of the test, you are sitting down. After the break of 15 minutes, you are sitting down, you are taking a register with you, and here you are writing test 1, and then you are writing the learnings. You are writing the learnings, that question number 1, this was the mistake, or I should note down this point. Question number 2, the new fact, I write it down. Question number 3, if it was correct, don't write anything. Question number 4, you will also have to write the test 1, test 2, test 3, test 5 of history. Why am I writing this? It is this register that will help me 3 days before the examination. In this register, I have written my weaknesses. For example, cirrus cloud is what? Dash. Cumulonimbus cloud is dash. It is something that I forgot while I was writing the test. Now I have written it down separately so that I can revise it just before the examination. So this register that you write from the analysis of the test is your register. It is something that is customized for you. It has your weaknesses, it has your strengths, it has new facts for you. Something might be obvious for someone, but it might be new for you. So it is your customized register. This register is something that you should revise after every phase. Phase 1, that is 60 days. Then again phase 2, 40 days later. Then again just before the examination. So you will end up revising your own mistakes, your own new things after every phase. 3 revision is done. So this was your phase 1. I said there are 3 phases: phase 1 60 days, phase 2 40 days, phase 3 30 days. So after phase 1, that is 60 days, what have you done? You have completed 1 revision of all the static subject, current affairs, and you've also solved 20 thematic papers. Thematic papers like geography 3 papers, history theme 3 papers, art and culture theme 2 papers, science and tech theme 2 papers. So this is how you've read, and you've done 20 tests also. You know what to do, how to appear in the test, you know that, and what to do after the test, that also you know it. Then what do you have? Then you have phase 2. In phase 2, it is a replica of phase 1. It is a replica of phase 1, but in a shorter time. Now that you've revised everything in 60 days, the phase 2 is you will revise everything in 40 days. Now only you have revised, everything is fresh, so you will again revise it in 40 days. All the subjects again, plus current affairs. This will become your second revision. And in this, you also have to appear for your 15 test. So what we have done? Phase 1 20 test, phase 2 15 test. 1 revision, second revision. So we are revising it twice in this 70, in this 60 plus your 40. In this 100 days, you've already done 2 revision. Again, you will follow the same rule, that you will sit for the examination for 2 hours. You will follow the same pattern that you did for phase 1. You will do the same thing that you did for the analysis of the test. Your register keeps on growing. It keeps on increasing depending on how many mistakes you make. Then you have phase 3. The phase 3 is the last 1 month before the examination. Just 1 month before the examination, you have to revise it all again, all the current affairs subjects and the thematic subjects and current affairs subjects. Here, don't appear for too many tests. 5 to 7 tests is good to go. Why am I saying don't revise too much, don't give too many tests in the last 1 month? Because focus more on revision. And if you appear for too many tests in the last 1 month, you might get scared in case you are getting low marks, or you might get too overconfident if you're getting too good marks. So don't appear for too many tests. You have already appeared for, let's say, 20 tests and 15 tests, 35 tests you've already appeared. So don't appear for too many tests. 5 tests, 40 tests are good to go before your prelims examination. So revise more, revise your register, revise the current affairs, revise your subjects more. So here, revise the subjects, revise your mistakes more. That's what is needed. And in case you are appearing for the 5 tests, you will have to follow the same pattern, 2 hours and revision and the other pattern. So this is how you become confident for your preparation. You've revised too much, you are at a right line, and this is how you should manage around 130 days before your prelims examination. The target for this is your prelims examination, the D-Day. So all the best, and thank you for joining us.